Yeah.
And you weren't really sparring. You were fighting. We were fighting all the time. And guys getting dropped all the time. And that was just the kind of gym that I was in.
Coming back from that, the people who like dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get like a second set.
Like he got out of first gear. Jake Paul was just on pure survival mode from round 1 right through to round 6. I don't know if he's got a moral victory going 6 rounds. Maybe he has. People might give him credit for going 6 rounds, but he got in there and just survived. He just went in there and ran like a chicken from round 1 right through to round 6 when he got splattered.
Joe Rogan reacted with genuine shock to the serious, potentially career-ending injury Jake Paul suffered during his fight with Anthony Joshua. He stressed that boxing is an extremely dangerous sport and warned that continuing to fight at this level could cause permanent damage to the brain and drastically affect daily life. Rogan highlighted that injuries like these don't end when the fight is over, as their effects can follow a fighter for years, making the risks inside the ring truly life-altering. But potentially life-altering.
Because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think. And I knew.
Rogan went further by strongly advising Jake Paul to reconsider taking high-risk boxing matches altogether. Following the Joshua fight, Paul suffered severe injuries, including a broken jaw and the loss of multiple teeth that required surgical extraction. Rogan emphasized that no title, paycheck, or moment of fame is worth risking irreversible harm. He warned that continuing down this path could lead to even more serious and permanent damage, reminding fans and fighters alike that health must always come before glory.
Look at all them celebrities like dude from the Mighty Ducks, the little boy actor that got strung out on drugs. And all his fronts and all his teeth were missing from being on meth or whatever, whatever drug of choice he was on. There's no coming back from that. The people who like dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get like a second set. So if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Mighty Ducks, somebody like he's been clean and they gave him a makeover and he has like pretty much fake teeth. So yeah, the teeth are gonna be cooked. Now, I agree with the other part that Rogan was saying, but let's keep going.
Yeah, I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen. Yeah. And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already expressed my thoughts on this. I'm not giving no props for a person who says I am a real deal boxer because I went in and get smashed and got my jaw broken, but I lasted longer than Ngannou. But I was crazy enough to try. Because, to be honest, we're way past the honeymoon stage with a person like Jake Paul. You've been in this for long enough to go through fight camps, dedicate your time, effort, energy, money, spar with people. You spar with some quality names because you have resources and money or whatever. So we're well past that to the point where you just get credit for stepping in. You maybe got credit your first fight or whatever, first couple of fights, for coming from your...
Former heavyweight champion David Haye explained why Anthony Joshua didn't score a first-round knockout against Jake Paul. According to Haye, boxing doesn't always work through instant finishes. Jake was moving, avoiding clean shots, and buying time early on, but the steady accumulation of punches eventually caused significant damage. Haye stressed that Joshua shouldn't be criticized for being patient, as control, precision, and timing matter more than rushing for a quick knockout. The outcome still proved how dangerous even controlled attacks can be.
Usually, what happened what was always going to happen. A lot of people thought it would only last 1 round, 2 rounds, but you've got to give Jake credit. He went out there and had a solid game plan and was implementing it at times, was landing shots and was avoiding getting hit with the big shots. But there's a reason we have weight categories in boxing, and I'd say he sticks with the cruiserweight division where the guys are the same size as him, because that, without having the schooling, the many years, I was able to give away 100 pounds in weight because I've been boxing since I was 10. I was an international amateur and world champion at cruiserweight. That's why I was able to do the big jump and use the tactics that he used to win the heavyweight championship. But credit to him, nothing but respect for Jake Paul for putting on such an event and putting himself in harm's way.
I would imagine some people back home for you are going to say, man, AJ should have gotten out of there in 2 rounds.
Anyone who understands boxing knows it's very difficult to close the range on someone who doesn't want to hold his feet. And is AJ supposed to just run around swinging and missing? No, he's supposed to wait for the right opportunity, which he did. And once the opportunity presented himself, he landed and the fight was over. But yeah, anyone who kind of gives AJ stick because he didn't knock him out in one round doesn't understand boxing.
What level would you say Jake Paul is after that performance?
Pardon?
What level would you say Jake
It's
Paul
hard
is?
to tell. It's very, very difficult to see what level he was because he was fighting someone in the top 5 and.
Many analysts are now openly questioning Jake Paul's future in boxing, suggesting he's seriously reconsider continuing his career. They point out that much of Paul's record was built against retired fighters, crossover athletes, or opponents outside elite boxing, which delayed real tests of his ability. After being stopped by Anthony Joshua and previously losing to Tommy Fury, critics argue that reality has caught up with him. These losses highlight the danger of stepping up too far, too fast, against elite competition.
Not boxers like Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, none of them are boxers. Nate Robinson, who's a YouTuber. So I guess, over the hill, retired Mike Tyson, who's 60, almost lost his life before the fight and had blood transfusions and was coughing up blood and was transported off of a plane for passing out. And Jake Paul wanted to fight him and still tried to knock him out. A lot of y'all like to say he had mercy on Mike, but I promise you, I watched the fight. Just go back and watch it again. He was trying to knock Mike Tyson out from beginning to end. He could not do it. The reason he couldn't do it is because he refused to get too close to Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson always would swing back, and he knew could not take that punch from Mike Tyson. So he hit and he ran. And at the end of the fight, he was not showing mercy on Mike. He was trying to make sure that he doesn't get knocked out or caught with something stupid, because he knows he's about to win. He didn't want to risk it. I'm not going to keep letting y'all run with this narrative that Mike Tyson was following a script with all these fake script posts running around on Facebook, or saying that he had mercy on Mike.
Eddie Hearn reflected calmly on the fight and maintained that everything unfolded according to plan. He explained that the strategy was based on patience, control, and gradually breaking Jake Paul down rather than rushing for an early finish. Although Hearn initially expected a quicker stoppage, he admitted he was satisfied with how the fight progressed. Joshua remained composed, confident, and disciplined throughout, proving his experience and ring intelligence. Hearn dismissed online criticism, stating that none of it changes the result.
Before the fight, I'm going to break him down, and then I'm going to knock him out. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it'd be all over within 3 rounds. But, when I got in the ring after, because I was shouting, just, anywhere, arm. I got in, he went, what are you rushing me for? And I was like, oh, sorry. So, but like, obviously he knows what he's doing, and actually now quite pleased that we got the rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what he said that. Really random, I was on Twitter and I saw Jake Paul's mum said she wants to get in the ring and punch you. She said she doesn't like the smug look on your face. She is promoting her book, so I'm not sure if she wants, But did you see that? What did you think of that?
No, I was very sad, because I couldn't have been nicer and more respectful of Jake and what he's done. And I think Logan's amazing. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I shook Jake Paul's dad's hand in the ring, And if I would have seen Mum, I would have said, all right. But I think over the years, we've obviously had our beef, and she probably don't like me anyway. And I am probably a little bit smug. I wasn't smug after the fight, because I would have been more smug if it was all over in a round. So, no, I'll give Jake respect. And, sorry, Jake's mum doesn't like me, but if she can send me a free book.
Carl Fruck delivered one of the harshest critiques, calling the entire event an embarrassment to the sport. He questioned why Jake Paul was receiving praise at all, arguing that the hype was driven by spectacle rather than genuine boxing skill. Fruck warned that modern boxing is increasingly influenced by social media popularity over technical excellence, which threatens the sport's integrity. He emphasized that regulators must rethink how such matchups are promoted, insisting that boxing's credibility should matter more than viral moments or online attention.